9-3 Lounge live Saturday morning, DSN WRN, 1620 AM in the Lehigh Valley, and always on 9-3lounge.com. Sapphire Blues join the cast.
Hi,
Nobody got the union. I told you to take these people to the river.
I thought I did, bro.
Way down to the river.
You know what? I'm gonna have to do like they did on Brothers when they put them in the ice.
Okay, I'm lost.
Oh, that's why we have.
You didn't use cement.
That's why we have cement.
I thought I tied them right, bro. I did my Boy Scout
cement and heavy shoes.
No, that's Tommy and I'm Ghost. You
What?
can't shoot me.
What just happened?
Don't worry about them, Simone.
You supposed to be dead.
we got a caller in.
I didn't even. Good morning, people. I miss you guys.
We got a caller. So.
Good morning. Thank you for calling 950.
Okay, good. We got a caller. We've been waiting patiently. Caller, who are you? Where you calling from? Oh, it's on headphones. I'm sorry.
Exactly. Good morning. Thank you for calling 950. Who we got on the line today?
Could I have a number 2?
Good morning, caller.
No, talk up, Ed. Get out that Boost Mobile.
Can you turn your volume up a little bit louder?
Y'all can hear me now?
Yeah,
I can hear you a little bit,
We hear you
yes.
now. Go ahead, bud. I know you said you had something you want to discuss on 9/11.
Yeah. You know, for me, man, it was kind of heartfelt. Actually, I was on my way. You know, that morning it was. If y'all don't remember, it was primary morning that day, and we was going. So me and my mother was going to go vote, and then after that, shortly right after that, I was on my way to going downtown to work. But luckily, something that happened, and it was something that took place on the block situation. I thought before that earlier, but I said that to say that I was working. I was working for Tri-State Carpet at the time, and I was going to do an interview in Building 4 down there. And if it wasn't for the fact that I went to go vote with my mother, and my mother asked me to go do something, I lost 2 friends down there, my friend Kenneth and my friend John.
Wow.
Because we were all going to meet because we were working for Tri-State Carpet, and we were going to do a business deal in that building that would have landed a great deal, but turned out to be a catastrophe, you know, because I lost 2 friends, 2 good friends.
Oh, sorry to hear that,
So it was really hard for a while for me, you know, but because we was all close and, you know, we was business orientated, you know, we had, you know, shared the Tri-State Carpet business together, and it was fun because these 2 guys had brought me on.
Right.
And, you know, every time and when it gets time to this year, something, I still kind of shaky a little bit.
So many stories, man. I mean, it's we all being quintessential New Yorkers, and you know, living and breathing in this city. We all have, whether it was our own experience or a friend, a family member.
Everybody was affected.
Everybody was touched.
We knew somebody or didn't.
And you know, it's funny you say that, Ed, because I work in that area now, and I went to the new mall, and I looked up, and I'm like, I didn't know how to feel. I'm like, wait a minute, you know, people walking around doing selfies, and like it kind of gave me a warped feeling, because I feel like that's kind of how around. And you know, obviously, listen, they got stores there, like business and commerce is going to go on. I understand that, but it just didn't. I didn't get the feel for that, but. You know, I appreciate you sharing your story this morning. Real quick, while I got you here, tell people when they can catch your show.
You can definitely catch my show Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. on the dial. Old School Chronicles in there. Y'all interrupted me. Chill. I'm on the line. Old School Chronicles at 8 p.m. Y'all will definitely want to tune in. The show is definitely what's going down. I appreciate it. Shout out to 950 Lounge. Y'all always is the backbone. Y'all know what time it is. Without y'all, there's no me. So y'all just keep doing what you're doing. We tune in, and I love y'all for what you're doing, where we stand.
Appreciate you, cousin. We'll speak to you soon, baby.
Yeah, man.
All right, hold your head.
Take care.
There's so many stories, man, about, you know, and we don't it's funny because even though we're a close-knit group, we don't even sometimes even know the plights of some of our friends, family members, and co-hosts. So.
Before we go on, do you want to share a story?
Yeah, actually, I do, and I know I came in a little late. I'm jumping from one job to the next, so I really am happy that I'm actually
That's
here.
what we call it.
And no, seriously, you know, I'm from the Bronx, and from Bronxdale Houses, which is now Sotomayor. And there was a great guy in the neighborhood that everybody knew by Pop. And we do tributes to him like every year for the last 10 years. Because he passed away in the 9/11. And he was just such an influential person in the neighborhood, and all the kids loved him, and everyone knew his family. And I know right now this is a hard time. I know it's definitely a hard time for a close person of mine, because they were best friends. Mm-hmm. And I also lost a schoolmate, a college mate, at the time. And what happened was it was my friend and his cousin. They were going to work. One said, "Yo, I'm hungry, man. Go get something to eat. I'm going to go upstairs and get work started." So, of course, the one that went into the building, my friend passed away. Wow. And his cousin that went to the store had to see that happen. And you never know, when you're sitting next to somebody, you're talking to somebody, how so many people are actually affected by it. My mom was down there during that time, and she lost a lot of her coworkers during that time when the buildings collapsed. She just happened to be way uptown at the time the situation happened. And I remember that was such an ordeal for her, because I was at this time working for a phone company in the city. And I remember just being really frantic and just trying to find her. And she's out in the city, and she's walking blocks to try to get to Jersey. And, she was still affected by it for a couple of weeks. So, I just want to shout out to just all of the families and friends that have lost someone close and dear to them. That know it's just a sad situation. And I ended up joining the fire department a couple of years later. After that. It had always been a passion of mine to help out, but from dealing with that, I ended up joining, and my partner was one of the main people that were actually down there and made the papers and stuff. So people are always connected in more ways than we know.
No doubt.
Like I said, that's experience that we all have lived, and you could live to you're 100 years old. One thing you always remember would be that day.
Let's transition off a little bit. I kind of want to go into something that's going on as you kind of capturing the nation from both ends, the Colin Kaepernick situation.
There's other people now doing it. And I hope they're doing it for the good, for a cause, or just doing it. And hope they're not doing it just to be recognized. Because you got some guys that just doing it now to be recognized.
Well, I don't think. Listen. I don't think anybody is doing that just to be recognized, because it's bringing scrutiny to a lot of people.
Definitely.
If you're African American or not, I know one of the soccer players, right?
She did it
right.
as well.
So I mean, listen, it's very easy to go with the flow. We saw that with a lot of our '90s athletes, Jeter, Jordan. They just went with the flow. It wasn't the '60s and '70s type athlete. I'm gonna stand up for what's right.
Different
it was
time.
Right. I'm just gonna go with the flow. I'm not gonna mess up my brand. It was all about branding. Colin Kaepernick, if we remember, 3 years ago was on top of the NFL. This guy was in the Super Bowl. He was the prototype quarterback. He was this great at the time. Most people kind of reference him as this multicultural athlete. He stands up for this right. At least what it does, and whether people want to agree with him or not. And I hear some people like Ray Lewis was on TV the other day saying, "Don't bring the flag in it." And I understand what Ray was saying about, people, family members are a part of armed services, and we should support and respect that. But what it does do is bring conversation, because people wasn't talking about it enough. And this guy's an athlete with a platform. Now, ultimately, him doing that will probably, and let's keep it 100, will hurt his brand.
It already did. He's the number 2 quarterback now.
Right.
Rookie.
And he'll probably won't be in the league next year. And I hate to say that, because the NFL is a machine. The machine is button up right, wear your socks the same height, tuck your shirt. It's a machine. And they don't want anything messing the machine up.
I think, personally, I think it's not going to mess them up too much. Because right now,
I hope it doesn't.
Because as you see right now, there's a lot of other players that's stepping out with it on the same thing with him. And then even though it's kind of funny and ironic, his jersey now became one of the top sellers over this whole situation as well.
Right.
I think athletes are tired in a way of being that machine player, from pro football to the NBA, where they're starting to say they like to have a voice too. And I think a lot of players now, you're going to find, are going to just start coming out of that loop and just doing what they feel like they want to do at a particular time. Not trying to be disrespectful to the organization they're a part of or to their team. And I don't think he really was trying to do anything to be disrespectful.
No, I don't think so.
Which is why
either.
he took the knee and didn't just sit on the bench or turn away or be on his phone. I read in a paper that said, we as Americans do that all the time. Do we stand even in our home every time when we hear the national anthem played? We don't. But we all know that athletes and superstars are held at at a higher accord. So of course they face the nation. I agree with Ed. I don't think that is going to put him to a place where he's not going to be in the league. I think another story is going to come to pass. I just think that this is shedding light, and like you said, it's a great conversation, and I support it.
The $1 million question, because of tomorrow being September 11th,
Right.
the $1 million question: should he or whoever else wants to do it? You could do it, but do it tomorrow. Because they were like saying that if guys don't want to do it, then stay in the locker room to the presentation.
He's not playing tomorrow.
No, but I'm just saying, but they're going to do it Monday.
But teams,
it's a weekend thing.
Teams have already said. I saw something about the Seahawks. The Seahawks are going to do. They won't say what they're going to do, but they've already stated they're going to do something.
The whole team is actually doing
it. The whole team.
There's a majority. I can't say the whole team.
But it's the majority of the team.
Majority of the team is going to do something. What that something is, I don't know. But I do like what Colin Kaepernick did, because the simple fact was he did it, and he got a whole lot of reactions, and he waited. And then he gave the reasoning behind his actions.
Yes.
And that's when everybody said, wait a minute. Oh, we thought you were just trying to be, a reckless person. You actually make good sense. And then that's when everybody started following behind him, or just agreeing to his understanding of, I'm not going to stand, because what he stood for made common sense. He wasn't just doing it just to do it, to get notoriety, to get somebody to say his name.
Well, again, like I've always said on this mic, your mouth's your strongest tool. If you know how to communicate, you'll be able to get things done. If Colin Kaepernick would have came out off the wall speaking, not really clear with his words, not profound in what he was saying, it wouldn't have been taken seriously. Right. When he came out and was very precise, direct in his words, had the clarity that everybody can understand, and realized that look, this guy's not doing this because he's just trying to get some exposure. He's doing it because this is something that's eating at his soul. He feels like I got to say something.
See, and the funny thing that makes me laugh about a lot of this situation, as ironically, is because when you look at it, you got people sitting there talking about that they want athletes to stand up and speak out on issues and everything else. But then soon as somebody says something that they don't like, why are you saying something? Shut up, sit down.
Right.
It doesn't make sense,
The machine wants you to talk when they want you to talk about
what
they want you to talk about. About what you don't want.
But people need to understand that America is digress. But in the eyes of whites, America is looked at upon different than the eyes of a black person, and people need to understand that.
Well, I think that's always been the case.
Yeah,
but I don't think we've digressed. I think we've gotten better. I think what's just happened is that we all walk around with these. Now the revolution is televised. Remember the old saying, the revolution will not be televised? The revolution is televised. We see where police brutality is going to a whole nother level. We see where injustice is going to a whole level, because now we can watch it. Right. It's something, it's even like the Ray Rice thing, and I know I'm flipping the script a little bit. It's been a lot of NFL players that have had abusive situations, but we see that, and that visual will never, you can't walk away from a visual. The same thing, we can't walk away from the visual with the situations that have happened in these cases. And that's what I think is the American thing is happening. If you ask primarily African Americans, they'll tell you there is a race problem. Paul Feinbaum, I don't know if you guys really know who he is. If it's sport, you follow college sports. Paul Feinbaum is a well-known journalist. He came out the other day and was saying, we let blacks play in our sports. And sometimes when you have, and I'm not saying everybody who makes mistake words is a racist, but sometimes when things are going on, and you don't see things the same way as maybe I see it, you try to overtalk, and when in that overtalk, you say things that maybe you really feel that you
got himself
that was
caught up in something.
Right. Well, so I don't know. Let's say
they fired him.
No, he didn't get fired. He apologized.
He's not going to get fired.
But he should have been reprimanded.
He's going to get reprimanded with some type of money, because they're going to come back at him with something to appease the people.
Paul Feinbaum
in the office, and that's it.
You don't know that. He said, "I'm sorry."
It's over.
It's over.
It's over.
There's certain people that gotta get hit, and some people ain't gonna get hit.
Well, listen, it's 11 o'clock hour,
Like
second hour of the show. I have a lady here up next that is phenomenal in so many ways, has a tremendous story, and I think something that our audience will really find motivating and can use their own balance.
You think she's standing for the national anthem?
You ask her when she's next.
Work,
Angie from Gang is next. Not Free Lounge Live.